Hi. So, happy Sunday and good morning. So, I put up a write up about random investment ideas that people give. It's not meant to call out anybody, but after looking at the investment space and being also in it, over the years, a lot of information has been put out there. Investment has been somewhat democratized. It's not available for a lot of people to do. You can see mutual funds, and those mutual funds have like different types, fixed income, so much about it. But at the end of the day, I see that a lot of things that people offer are not more of education. They are just more of, okay, what package do you think we should bring out, or what package are people doing now? Yes, and most of the time these packages are based on identify needs anyway, but it's always good that you understand as a way the investment landscape or certain things about investments, which is why I felt like the place where I see in the sector that still needs more boost is in terms of the educational aspect of it. A lot of people, you might have been investing, holding dollars over the last 5 years. Right now they're holding dollars. Especially if you're only in Nigeria and most of your expenses are in naira, you're actually at a loss. Do you get? Because at the start of the year, the naira was around 1.6. Now it's around 1.470, and it's still going down. It's appreciating with this FA, gray list information. I saw that it has even appreciated further. So who knows how far then it will go. So if you were using last year's idea or last year's concept to invest, let me hold dollar or let me invest in dollar-based investments. I also do US stock, but yes, I realized that I had to be pulling back a bit because even I don't do Bitcoin, or okay, I expose myself to Bitcoin kind of in the stock market buying ETFs. But like I said, I also realized that at this point, really, while I'm not doing even the Bitcoin itself as much as information, Bitcoin is tied to USD. So because most people are even doing stable coins and are saying and the stable coins is still USDT, which is still USD. So if the naira is appreciating against the USD, it doesn't make sense for you to be so much invested in dollar-based investment. It doesn't mean you shouldn't do it. It just means that your exposure should be amounts that you want to hold for a long time. A long time would look like we are talking about 10 years. Because 5 to 10 years, because nobody knows how long the appreciations would go. So you should know that the cycle has changed, and so how you're investing needs to change. Also, we've been talking about fixed income, treasury bills, money market, but then again, another thing you should as well know is that inflation rate is coming down. The MPR rate has already been cut by central bank once. Their next meeting is most likely going to be a cut because inflation saw a 2% decrease from 20 to 18%. Now, some people will be like, you're speaking garbage. What are you saying? That's where investment knowledge and education comes in. Because if you are using the idea of last year to still invest this year, you are probably going to end up carrying baggers and making mistakes and then be at a loss. Do you get? Because if you are doing dollar investment as a Nigerian, before you can say you are making money, you are going to gain above naira appreciation rates, and then also gain, you get, with your upside above inflation rates. So it's a whole lot that you're dealing with. So this is why we say learn about it. Not necessarily, and the video is not that come and pay Madeline money to learn about it. As much as I like money, just like any other person, the video is a lot of things I know. As much as I paid for some things, most of the things I know are self-taught. I listened, I watched, because nobody can exhaustively teach you. But when they teach you, at least you know what to look out for. You know what? I've talked about inflation rates, I've talked about MPR rates. Those are things that some people do not even know of or have never heard of. Do you get? I've talked about fixed income, you know. I was reading of recent about the 2008 financial crisis, you know, a lot of things. You understand Nigerian economy and what you do, because some will say, if I know the past, but that's not true. Nigerian economy is no longer dependent just on oil. The last GDP, non-oil revenue, was higher than oil. It means if the previous financial crisis that happened before happened again, your reaction will not be exactly what we did. It might not hit the way it hits, because the society is no longer just dependent on oil revenue. Most past financial crises have been where Nigeria impact has been on currency and oil revenue. But even the stock market is seeing growth. I can't believe the stock market is going to 150 based on mainly domestic investors. So you see that the landscape is changing, the investment world is changing. But how do you know how to adjust? First, you need to know the basics, you need to know what you're looking at, you need to know the mindset and the idea. So that is what your idea of teaching the investments comes in. Like, know what you need to look out for, know, so that you're not just, somebody doesn't just give you generic investment ideas. You're also able to talk about it. You're also, even if the person is managing your stuff and they miss out one information, one news, you are able to know that this thing I should be looking at it. Do you get? So that you understand what is happening and you'll be able to make decisions. So yes, investment has been democratized, but unfortunately investment knowledge has not become so widespread known, like maths and English, you know, like 1 + 1 or the 2 times table, you know. And we need to get to that point before we can effectively maximize the gains that we have in the democratization of investment parcel. So have a nice Sunday. Don't mind me, I'm dissing myself. Have a nice Sunday, and I guess God bless you. Bye.